Yo, so back from my little holiday. While I was away, I managed to finish a book series that I've been reading through for the past few years. Some small little trilogy, but before I go on to that, a little bit of background for it. When I was in high school, I started reading a book series that a member of my family had been a particular fan of when they were younger, and that was Derek Landy's Skullduggery Pleasant series. I grew to love those books. I mean, while I haven't caught up on some of the kind of second season that they've started releasing lately, such as Midnight, the first season of it, from the first book, Skullduggery Pleasant, through to The Dying of the Light, I devoured them. I grew to absolutely love this series. I love the characters, I love the world that it created. I just grew to love that series. So at the end of The Dying of the Light, there was a one-page advert that said, that basically advertised Landy's next series of books he was planning, and it was Demon Road. And having grown to be a Derek Landy fan from his work, I knew I had to check it out. So I put it on my wish list. I got the first book, I think for my birthday the next year, and I read through it and I began to really like it. I, I got Desolation a few years later, and then a few years after that I picked up American Monsters. And while I don't know if it's on the same level as the Skullduggery Pleasant series, Demon Road for me was very entertaining. Each of the three books, Demon Road, Desolation, and American Monsters, all three of these books, I love them. Maybe not as much as I loved Skullduggery Pleasant, but definitely Demon Road I feel was a good series and one worth checking out. The premise of the Skullduggery Pleasant books was focused around a girl named Stephanie Edgley and her eventually having to deal with magic and being taught by a skeleton. The Demon Road series follows a teenage girl named Amber Lamont. I don't know if it's supposed to be Lamont or Lamont. I don't know, but Kevin, she's described in the books as not ugly. I mean, she's not. Apparently, she's kind of in her human form. She's a little round, but she's apparent. I think she's mostly described as the kind of girl who you don't think is ugly, but you wouldn't take a second look at. And around her 16th birthday, she seemingly discovers that her and her family and most of her family friends are demons. And her parents are actually delighted that she's discovered that they're demons and that she actually has demon powers herself. But sadly, this isn't X-Men, and neither is it Karate Kid. Her parents aren't planning to train her to be a demon, they're planning to eat her and consume her power to make themselves more powerful. And it's apparently happened twice before in their lifetime with siblings that Amber didn't know she had. Her parents are betrayed by one of their close friends, and Amber has to go on the run. Her only hope, a mysterious man named Milo Sebastian and his demonic Dodge Charger. She has to find a way to get away somewhere she'll be safe, even if Milo is a little curt along the way. Now, the first book follows this through and through, her trying to escape. In the second book, Desolation, she and Milo head to one place where they hope they'll be safe, that being a town called Desolation, at the top of Desolation Hill. Unfortunately, not only are her parents still out to get her, but also forces of hell are gathering, and a demon from hell is sending the Hounds of Hell, a demonic gang of bikers who are out to get her. Meanwhile, the third book in the series, American Monsters, due to the events of Desolation, Amber now finds herself pretty much the representative of one of the demons, the demon Astaroth. So she has to do terrible things, send people to hell, but also find a way to escape from her parents and anyone else on Scourge for power. And as I said, while I don't know if this is on the same level as the Skullduggery Pleasant series, it's still pretty entertaining to get through. I feel they could have done a lot more with it, but you know what? For the 3 books, it's a pretty good ride. Now, like most people go when reading a book series, I did a bit of casting in my head. Now, yeah, I've probably done this before in other videos, but here's the thing: what with other kind of movies, you've got the characters laid out before you. With this, you haven't got any movies, any TV shows for it, so you're allowed a bit more free reign. For example, the character of Amber Lamont, who my choice for Amber Lamont does seem a little bit strange. The choice I made was actress Amanda Bynes, who has actually not done any acting in the past 9 years. She apparently took a brief hiatus, or a long-term hiatus from acting in 2010, and still has yet to return to it. Also, being that she's now in her early 30s, Bynes is possibly a little past the point at which she could realistically play a teenage girl. But I also kind of felt that Bynes fit in with the demonic side of Amber, which is, as I said before, she's kind of, in her human form, she's not ugly, but not someone you will look at twice. However, when she becomes kind of demon form, she is, apparently in the books, stunningly beautiful. From red skin, her horns, and all the rest of it. For the choice of Milo Sebastian, I, to be honest, throughout the whole time got pretty much an era of John Constantine, so I kind of felt he was a very Constantine-esque character, kind of willing to answer questions, but also a little cold and brisk. So I personally put Matt Ryan in that role, seeing as I grew to love him in Constantine and recently in the Arrowverse, so I felt he was a good choice for it. Other characters that they encounter along the way include a kind of hitchhiker named Glenn, who seemingly has a run-in with vampires, who I kind of imagined in the style of Eddie Redmayne, or if he wasn't available, someone like Louis Rayner. Also, in the final book, they also get kind of followed by 2 FBI agents, one named Sutton and one named Bird. And from there, from the way that they were describing the book, I personally went the way of X-Files and would have had David Duchovny or Gillian Anderson in the roles. Although there does come a point with Bird right at the very end of the last book that I will admit I didn't see coming and was a bit shocked when it did happen, but I won't give away any more than that. Also, I feel with kind of a film like this, kind of demons, hell, great big thriving demons, I would have to have Tim Curry somewhere in there. Maybe as the demon Astaroth in the third film or TV season. I kind of feel Tim Curry would have to be involved somewhere, even if it was just voice work for one of the demons. I feel he would be a great shot for this. And while I doubt that Demon Road will ever kind of gain popularity to be made into a TV series or movie, I feel if it was, it should probably be directed by Guillermo del Toro. I mean, this stuff plays right into his wheelhouse, and I feel he's the one who could do it justice. I don't know who I would have cast as Amber's parents. I mean, you need someone who could do kind of the sweet and the kind, but also the kind of evil side very well. I don't know. If you have any ideas, please let me know. But yeah, I think overall it doesn't. As I've said multiple times throughout this video, Demon Road doesn't quite live up to the high standards that Skullduggery Pleasant left us on. But you know what? For 3 books, they managed to crack in a hell of a lot, and the advert in the book said that they were going to take us on an adventure, and you know what? I really think they did. Derek Landy, he's done brilliant stuff with Skullduggery Pleasant and the Demon Road series. If you need a little more convincing or just want to check out another one of his works, he also wrote a short Doctor Who story for the 11 Doctors, 11 Stories. He wrote the one for the 10th Doctor, The Mystery of the Haunted Cottage. So, yeah. Check out his writing. He's done some pretty good stuff. And you know what? I believe now he's back to writing Skullduggery Pleasant again, having started kind of the next set. So I'll be looking to try those out. But Demon Road, it was a damn fun ride. Anyway, see you in hell.